Miles to Go. In this episode of Miles to Go, we're making two different Italian salads. Italian salads are a fun and easy side dish, fun to bring to somebody's house, or on a hot summer day just to serve as a lunch alone. So let's take a look at the first salad. The first salad is a caprese salad, and that salad consists of a few delicious ingredients. We have tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and fresh basil. So let's take each ingredient piece by piece. Our fresh basil, which we've seen in other episodes before, is fresh basil. And here in the Northeast, it does grow in the summertime and is really beautiful to pick once you have it in your garden. I bought this at the grocery store this morning, and I'm keeping it in a nice chilled vase because I think it looks pretty. So we have some fresh basil. We also have some olive oil. The olive oil is going to accent the mozzarella cheese and give it a little extra flavor. We're going to drizzle the olive oil on top of our salad once it's all set and ready to be served. And we also have tomatoes. Now, fun facts about tomatoes. There are over 3,000 varieties of just these tomatoes, which are heirloom tomatoes. Now, heirloom tomatoes are very distinguishable because they have these bumps and ridges. Now you can see here, one is red and one is green with a little red on its bottom. They come in different colors, different shapes, and there's 3,000 of this variety alone. What I chose to put in my salad today was a hothouse tomato, just a vined ripened tomato because it's wintertime here in the Northeast and, well, it's not tomato season yet. But altogether, in terms of tomatoes, there's over 15,000 varieties of tomatoes. So you could eat a different kind of tomato every single night and probably not even get through every tomato. So I chose these tomatoes to use today, but heirloom tomatoes would be my preference if I was growing them fresh in the garden. The next key ingredient in our salad is fresh mozzarella. Now, typically what you use for a salad like this is fresh mozzarella, and you can buy it in tons of different ways. You can buy it in water, you can buy it salted, unsalted, and you can actually even buy it pre-sliced in the grocery store as such, which is what I did for today. And if my handsome cameraman could get a close-up, you can see that the mozzarella cheese fresh is a little bit grainier than a mozzarella cheese that you might use for something like pizza or baked ziti or lasagna. It's a little bit grainier. There's not as much salt in it, which is why you add salt to the salad and why you would add salt to this, but it has a really nice fresh taste. And what's so great about it, it doesn't overpower the sweetness of the basil and the sweetness of the tomatoes. So adding a little salt is perfect. So this is a fresh mozzarella. And again, this is mozzarella that you would add for pizza, ziti, or lasagna. And then the next ingredient is a balsamic vinegar. And you can do this in one of two ways. I prefer a balsamic vinegar glaze, which is really just simply balsamic vinegar reduced down. You can buy it like this in a glaze form already. It's sweet, it's delicious, it goes great on tons of different things, not only tomato and mozzarella, but any kind of vegetable, and even some tart fruits it might work well with. But this is a balsamic vinegar, which we've seen throughout the course that is very popular in Italy. And what you would do if you wanted to make this is just boil it, a slow, steady boil until it gets thick, like the glaze. Now, I've already arranged my tomato and mozzarella. I've already arranged it and I've put some basil on it already. And what I need to do to finish this off is very simple. I just need to take a little freshly ground salt, and this will just help out, bring out the flavor of the tomatoes. You just want a little bit on there, not too much. And then pepper to taste. And again, some people don't like pepper, some people put extra salt on, some people don't put vinegar, some people only put olive oil. It's really what you prefer. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, just like this, just to bring out the flavors. And then right before I serve it, I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on it, or regular olive oil. I believe that's what we have in this case. I'm just gonna drizzle that on, put a little bit of the balsamic glaze, and it's ready to serve. Now, this is a beautiful side salad, beautiful to take to somebody's house, or if you were having a luncheon, you could serve it like this with some fresh Italian bread, and people could put it on a sandwich and you have a beautiful lunch. So there's really so many things you could do with Italian salads, but this is one of my favorites. Welcome back to Miles to Go salad episode. In this episode, we're going to make an antipasta salad. Now, an antipasta salad is a salad that you would have before the meal. Antipasta simply means before the meal. So antipasta can be done in a variety of different ways. It can be platters of meats and cheeses. It can be platters of meat and cheese with bread. It can be all sorts of different things, including some local specialties like roasted peppers, olives, sometimes it's roasted vegetables as well, some eggplant, a little carbonara. It depends what you choose to serve or what might work well with the meal. But today I'm going to make an antipasta salad, which has fusilli pasta in it and all these beautiful ingredients mixed in. So let's talk about the salad dressing to start. The salad dressing has olive oil, it has basil, and as you can see, a lot of ingredients include basil. A lot of recipes include basil in the recipe because basil is super popular in Italy. And this recipe actually calls for red wine vinegar. So before we were looking at balsamic vinegar and then the balsamic reduction, which is simply balsamic vinegar reduced down into a glaze, made sweet. And then we also have this one, which is a white wine vinegar. So as you can see, there's lots of different vinegars that you can use. But remember, Italy is known for its wine and vinegar is made from grapes. So of course they're going to be known for their vinegar as well. Red wine, white, and balsamic. Typically I choose balsamic vinegar, but the recipe calls for red wine, and who am I to mess with a good recipe? So we're going to start off by putting some things in our blender. First, the recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped up basil. This is what the leaf looks like whole, and it says to de-stem it. So basically you want to take off the hard, kind of woody part of the stem and just chop it up. You're going to put that in the blender first. That's 2 cups. And now this handy dandy measuring bowl is actually a cup measure. This is 2 cups for this size. So that works out pretty well. We'll just stick that back in there and make it part of our arrangement. So we're gonna mix this, the basil, then we have the vinegar. Again, the red wine vinegar mixed in. Garlic, it calls for 1 clove of garlic. So I'm gonna get a little aggressive and do just a little under a tablespoon there. But you can really do it to your liking. And I like to buy the already chopped up garlic. It's organic garlic. You can chop your own. Fresh is always best, but for these purposes, I thought we'd make it nice and fast. It also calls for a Dijon mustard, which, truth be told, this is a French mustard. Oh, would you like some Grey Poupon? But it goes well in our salad dressing, and we need 1 teaspoon. Just a little dash of that. Makes it quite tasty. And then we also have fresh ground salt and pepper, which I have over here. And now the olive oil in this case goes in last. We're going to actually put it in while the blender is running, which I'm not particularly fond of doing, but I'll show you a little trick. You could also do this in a food processor, but the blender does work just fine. So freshly ground black pepper. All right, now it's going to get a little noisy, so hang on. Always, always make sure your lid on your blender is secure. And because I had a bad incident one time, which required me to clean the ceiling of my kitchen, I always keep my hands on top. All right, we're gonna pulse this. Does it say what to do? It just says till the herbs are finely chopped. All right, finely chopped. Let's go with chopped. We are finely chopping the herbs. You can see the liquid is coming out. Okay, now I'm going to change the setting. So my blender has this little fancy contraption where the top comes off, so I can add things into it. Okay, so this says while the blender is running, add the olive oil in. So my olive oil is pre-measured. I'm going to turn my machine on. I'm going to secure it with my hand first. I'm going to run the olive oil into Now, I am just gonna scrape it down one time. Oh, I need to get a scraper, hold please. You can see that it did kind of shoot up. I have some green goo on my hand. So I would suggest being really careful doing that in your kitchen at home. Maybe even do it in 2 or 3 different batches. So the object of this is to not have like chunks of basil left. You want it to be like a salad dressing consistency. And most Italians make their own salad dressing, and oftentimes salad dressing for me is just a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, whichever vinegar you like, and some salt and pepper, and even some garlic. All right, so I'm gonna be smart this time because I learned from my mistakes. Yes, we would like you to turn on. Okay. So I'm gonna stir that up. And then let me pour this out so you can see what a beautiful salad dressing we're gonna have. Now, this is gonna get mixed into our fusilli pasta once the pasta is done cooking. So you can see how nice and fresh that is? I mean, that would be beautiful just by itself to put on a regular tossed salad, if you will. And if you like just plain tossed salad, this would be beautiful. And if you're feeling wild and crazy one day, you could switch up the different olive oil or the different vinegars. So let me just clean up from this little mess, and then we'll move on to talk about our ingredients. All right, so I cleaned up from the salad dressing, and now I want to talk a little bit about the ingredients or the body of this salad. So the first thing the salad requires is 1 pound of fusilli pasta. Now, fusilli pasta is nice because it's kind of curly and it'll absorb the olive oil and it'll absorb the salad dressing that we've already made. And it's a fun kind of shaped pasta. I love this for a good pasta salad. Also in this salad, we have smoked turkey. This is a half a cup, it might be a little bit more than a half a cup smoked turkey sliced. And we also have some salami cut up and diced, ready to go into our salad. And I have 2 different kinds of cheeses today. I have a provolone cheese, which is a very nice cheese, a little bit sharper than a mozzarella, a little bit stronger, a little bit more solid. It's not as squishy. It's a really nice cheese. I'm gonna eat that, please. And then we have a much stronger cheese, a very sharp, pungent cheese called Asiago. So the Asiago cheese gets shredded in, and it's gonna add some flavor, but it's gonna be subtle because it's not that much. It's only, what is this? We have a cup, half a cup, quarter of a cup grated Asiago cheese. And that'll just add a nice little flavor. The provolone is subtle, the Asiago is strong. The next ingredient that we have here is roasted red peppers. Now, my aunt always made her own roasted red peppers. Super easy to do. You literally take a red pepper and you roast it on a grill, or you could put it in broil in your oven. But I went for the quick, easy way and bought a can of them, and then I just diced them up. So we have roasted red peppers, and then for an added flair, we have olives. Olives are super popular in Italy because remember, it's a really hot climate down south in southern Italy. It's very close to northern Africa, so things like olives, tomatoes, peppers, they grow. And I only did a couple tablespoons of olives because these are strong. Green olives have a very distinct flavor to them. Not everybody loves a green olive, but I do love the color that they add. With the red peppers, the green olives, it's gonna be super pretty. And I also have my salt and pepper here ready to go for when my pasta is done cooking. So I have a pot of water ready to go for my fusilli pasta. The water has been heavily salted. You want it to smell like the ocean. That's what you say in Italian. You want it to smell like the ocean. It would be great to smell or see the ocean right now. But for right now, I'm just gonna stick my nose over the pot of boiling water and wait for the pasta to get done. And then we're gonna combine all the ingredients together. Okay, so we have our pound of fusilli pasta all cooked and ready to go. Woohoo, look how curly and cute that is. Okay, so we're just gonna toss everything together into the fusilli pasta. I'm gonna start with my meats. Again, I have smoked turkey. I'm just gonna give it a stir. And I've got my nice pasta bowl here. This pasta bowl is actually from Italy. And then my hard salami. You can already see it's a pretty salad. It's going to be bright and colorful. I'm going to save my cheeses till last, just so that my pasta could cool down a little bit. We don't want the cheese to melt. Okay, and my roasted red peppers. Again, you can roast your own peppers or you can buy store-bought peppers. Both work just fine. My green olives. Oh, I love all the pretty colors. I'm gonna put a dash of salad dressing now because I don't want the pasta to stick together as it cools down. You know, pasta is starch and the starch will start to dry and it'll stick. We'll have sticky pasta. I don't want sticky pasta. Do that. I'm gonna give a little dash of pepper right now. Fresh ground black pepper. And again, you can do this to your own liking. I'm just gonna put a dash of salt, quite honestly, because the meats are cured meats, the smoked and the salami, they're both smoked, and that tends to give like a smoky, salty flavor, so we don't want too much. And next, my provolone. One tried to escape. Come back here, little baby provolone. Oh no, I don't want to be the part of the pasta salad. Come on, little guy. Ah, no, mama, no. Okay, so you've got our provolone in there. And last, but certainly not least, I'm gonna put in the Asiago, and that's gonna give it a really strong flavor. All right, here we come, my Asiago. I'm actually not gonna put all of it in. I'm gonna save a little bit from the top. And then the salad dressing all over, nice and nice. And if you find it's too thick, it's too thick for you, or you wanna take it down a notch, you could add a little bit more olive oil to it. There we go, we're gonna scrape out every last drop. And then again, before you're ready to serve it, if you do indeed need a little bit, if it's too dry and you need a little bit more, just add a little bit more olive oil. Can't go wrong with that. And then I would serve this with fresh ground pepper, so if people would like a little bit more pepper, they can certainly add it. I just keep stirring this to incorporate it all, but this looks beautiful. Quanto si bella, as you would say in Italian. Okay, and then just a little bit of extra cheese right around the top to finish it off. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have antipasta salad. Enjoy, buon appetito.